Hello, I'm Eloise. I'm one of the co-founders of The Big Bakes. Today I'm going to show you how to make some really easy, simple, 4-ingredient bake-at-home dog treats. We've had lots of requests recently for some yummy bakes, not only for us but also for our furry friends. I've got 2 lovely dogs that I'm going to make some treats for. So we used 4 ingredients. We used 2 large eggs, we used 3 cups of flour, I used wholemeal, we used 1/4 cup of peanut butter and 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree, or any fruit puree is fine. Okay, so first of all I've got my equipment ready. So all you need is a large mixing bowl. This is to combine all of your ingredients in. I've then got a wooden spoon which I'm going to use to mix the ingredients together, but you can also use an electric hand whisk if you have one of those. I've then got a rolling pin. This is just to roll out the cookie dough so that you can cut those out. I then have some stencils that I'm going to be using that I received as a Christmas gift. But don't worry if you don't have any cookie cutters, you can also make your own in your favourite dog style treats. This is something that I got out online and I just printed it on a bit of card and then cut it out. I've then just pre-lined a baking tray, just a flat baking tray with some greaseproof paper. So, in order to make your dog treats, all you need to do is combine your wet ingredients together first. So I'm going to crack 2 large eggs. So once your eggs are in the bowl, the next thing that I'm going to add is some pumpkin puree. I had a tin of this. You can get this really easily online, but you can substitute this for any type of fruit puree. So you can mash up some bananas, or you can use apple puree by just cooking up some apples and stewing those until it turns into sort of a puree consistency. But pumpkin's really good and it adds a little bit of natural colouring as well. Or you can even use a mixture, so a bit of pumpkin and banana. And you need 1/2 cup to 2/3 of a cup of this. So I'm just going to add that to my eggs. And then I'm going to give that a bit of a stir. And once that's about combined, you can then add 1/4 cup of peanut butter. So I've used an all-natural peanut butter. If you're making these for dogs, you do want to use a natural one. You don't want to be using any of the ones with any sugar in that we would do, but you can get plenty of all-natural ones. So I've just added that into the bowl, and now I'm going to give that a big mix. So this is where if you've got an electric hand whisk, that would come in quite useful, but it should come together quite easily just mixing it with a wooden spoon or even a spatula. Okay, so once you've got a relatively smooth consistency, as you'll see, there's a few lumps which you're going to get from the natural peanut butter, which is absolutely fine, and that'll make with some really nice texture for your dogs to enjoy. You're then going to add your flour. So I've used 3 cups of wholemeal flour. You can use sort of regular plain flour, but wholemeal just gives it that more sort of natural, healthier flavour for your dogs to enjoy. So I'm just going to add that gradually, about 1/4 of a time, and then I'm going to fold that into the wet mixture. So your mixture should have started to bind together probably in lumps by now. So this is where you need to actually get your hands to start to knead it together into a ball of dough. So I'm just going to scrape that off the spoon. And there you can see it's kind of formed into a ball of dough. So I'm just going to get my last bits of flour and just sprinkle this onto my work surface. So what you're going to do now is just sort of give that a bit of a knead together. So you're just turning over the dough and then using your, forming your hand into kind of a fish shape, just to kind of give that a bit of a knead, to make sure it's all sort of bound together. And you're going to roll it out to roughly the thickness of a £1 coin. Okay, so now that I've got my dough all rolled out, I'm now going to start to cut it out using my stencils. Okay, so once you finish cutting out all of your dough, you should have just popped them on your baking tray. So they're all flat on there, just with a little bit of space between each one, but you should have a nice full tray of treats. So I'm now gonna place these into the oven. I preheated my oven to 180 degrees before I started baking, and then you're gonna bake these for about 20 to 25 minutes, just so they're firm to touch. So I've just taken the dog cookies out of the oven. I baked them for about 20-25 minutes. I checked them at 20 minutes and I just wanted them to be firm to touch and started to have gone sort of that golden brown colour. So I left them in for a couple more minutes and I've just taken them out. It's really important now that we let them cool before we give them to our lovely pets. So I'm going to let them cool because I've got some eager dogs awaiting to try them. So I've got two very eager doggies waiting to try. Isn't that nice? Good girl. Oh, and Fred wants another one.